I hope you go to God with all the guilt, the bad things you may have done in the past. Each and every one of us may have done something that we're not supposed to do. If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you, and I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even behalf of my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
It's overwhelming.
Finding out you have at least 17 unknown children is not the type of family reunion Dr. Bryce Cleary was looking for.
And then at some point I just had to say, this is crazy. I can't be emotionally invested in all these people. And it's been very difficult.
An emotional Cleary during a press conference reflected on his time as a med student at OHSU, says he was recruited by OHSU to give sperm donations. Reluctant, agreed under the condition that the donation would be used for wishful mothers on the East Coast to produce a maximum of 5 children and then only used for research.
I was concerned about my own future children and any interaction they would unknowingly have with children produced in the program.
Last year, multiple donor children started contacting Cleary after a link through Ancestry.com, including Allison Ali.
Knowing that you were a product of fraud against somebody else is emotionally overwhelming. All of our conception is something that would hurt somebody who tried to do something to help our families.
Cleary has 4 children of his own and has learned some of his donor children have attended the same college and church as their siblings.
They were just turning this into a profit. Well, this is my dad's life, this is Allison's life, this is her kids' lives.
The lawsuit claims OHSU encouraged mothers to use donations from its clinic from a scientific professional. The doctor doesn't want another family to go through this pain.
You cause people to have a sense that I'm sorry that they were born, and that's not true. What's true is that this was a deception and this was fraud.
Married 12 years, had children.
It was like someone calling you and telling you a family member had just suddenly and tragically died.
His marriage had died, and according to court records, another man killed it.
He came to my house and we shared stories. We talked about personal lives.
The man was found guilty of intentionally wooing Kevin's wife away, right in his own home. There's an old law still on North Carolina books and also 6 other states. It's called alienation of affection. And for one man in eastern North Carolina, well, it meant a huge payout. But will he see any of that money? Kevin Howard is that man, and in this Pitt County courtroom, he sued the man his wife had an affair with and won a judgment of $750,000.
I filed the case because I feel it's very important that people understand that the sanctity of marriage is important, especially in this day and age when people question everyone's morals, people question everyone's viability as a person, and the state backed me up on it.
If the defendant can't pay, it turns into debt owed and appears on his credit report. One of the reasons some attorneys question why the old law still remains.
Are we backing up the court system for a week to 2 weeks to have a jury selection and have a jury trial, and for the plaintiff to spend, again, tens of thousands of dollars to really end up getting a piece of paper they're not going to ever collect again? So.
In her 30-year law career, Mills has argued on average about 1 alienation of affection case every year. Attorney Kelly Gonzalez thinks this should be the last year.
I think the law should be repealed. There have been several legislative movements and attempts to have the law removed, but those have failed.
The old law is from the 1800s and follows English law dating back to 1745, when wives were considered property. Attorney Paul Jenkins also questions why it still remains.
I think it's somewhat antiquated and old in nature.
Today, either husband or wife can sue someone they believe damaged their marriage.
The defendant, he did things purposely. He would visit with her when I was at work.
In North Carolina, only once was the law successfully challenged in the 1984 case of Cannon versus Miller, where the State Court of Appeals changed the law.
Critics call this law an obsolete method of inflicting morality on the society. One of the reasons for the law is to uphold the sanctity of marriage, but studies have shown that the impacts of this law do not do that.
After the brief death of the law in 1984, the state Supreme Court reversed the lower court's decision and harshly criticized the court for its actions.
They're not going anywhere. We're protecting these torts.
Perhaps protecting your marriage.
I have scars, and I still have a lot of healing to do.